Hey you guys, this is Sierra Sheree, and today I wanted to do a real talk. It's been a while since I made a video. I've been so busy with everything going on with school and work, but I'm ready to get back into making videos, my makeup, my fashion, and all that good stuff. But today I really wanted to have a real talk video, an issue that really has to be discussed. Racism in America, injustice, um, just all of that stuff. I really just want to have a real talk because, yeah, I talk about fashion and all this stuff. That's what I enjoy. But it's real issues out in the world, and some things should be talked about. And this is one of them. With everything that's been going on with the death of Mike Brown and the Ferguson riots and the protesting and the Eric Garner and everything that's been going on, like, I just really felt like I, needed to make this video and kind of tell this story of a recent racist situation that just occurred a few weeks ago. I didn't talk about it a few weeks ago. I didn't make a video or anything like that when it, happened, because I was a little enraged and I didn't want to come on here being all black power and, doing the most. But, I'll calm down. It's been a couple of weeks, but I was really frustrated because this recent event, this recent incident that occurred. I'm going to tell you guys a story and, just my opinion on things that's been going on and, where do I think that people should go from here, or, my opinion on things. So, I'm at work. The type of job I do is I'm a student technician at my school, which is Louisiana State University, which is a PWI, predominantly white institution. I fix computers for the residents that live on campus and the faculty, and we basically do everything from fixing, cable, phone issues, internet issues. We do it all. We like the geek squad of the campus. So recently I had an incident where I had to go out and fix a cable jack for one of the residents, and me and my coworker Taylor, I don't like going out to the rooms by myself, especially when it's a guy room, because it's very awkward. So me and my coworker Taylor, we went out there, and she's a black female just like me. So we went out to the room and we came to fix the cable jack. When we get in the room, it's two white males, students that is in our school. Well, one opens up the door and he, lets us in. And, we're like, yeah, we're coming here to fix the cable jack. So we get in the room and I'm starting to fix the cable jack. So it's not only him, but it's his roommate in the room as well. When I go out to these rooms, I try not to look around the room and, I just try to come in to do what I came to do. And I try not to worry about anything else that's going on. Like, I don't want to see anything that's going to make me uncomfortable or upset. So I try to just come in and do my job. They were aware that we were coming because one of my coworkers called and let them know. So we get in the room and I'm fixing, I'm starting to fix the cable jack. I'm focused on getting to the cable jack. My coworker Taylor, she kind of nudges me, with her elbow and was like, see, look. And, I'm not trying to look because I don't like looking around people's room. But, I kind of glanced and, of course, it's the roommate sitting on his bed. And I didn't really focus, so I don't know. I didn't focus in on what she was trying to get me to see. So I didn't know what she was telling me to look at. I just thought maybe she might have been like, look, he's weird or something. For all I know, he could have not had on pants. So I didn't really want to look. I just didn't want to see anything that I wouldn't want to see. So, I'm fixing the cable jack and stuff like that. So she texts this on her phone and she shows it to me. And she's like, see, look. And I read her text message and it says that on the map above his bed, it says the word niggers over Africa. And it was crazy because when we came in, they were trying to cover it up, and they hurry up and wiped it off. And it was just like, you could tell they were so uncomfortable when we walked in. And it was just like they tried to hurry up and just like erase it, and you could tell the guy was uncomfortable because he just kept looking, and he was just like, I'm so sorry, and yeah, I didn't know anyone was coming, and and then he like tried to hurry up and leave out. So he was uncomfortable, and it was kind of uncomfortable for everybody in the room. And when I seen that, that immediately upset me. I'm the type of person, I'm professional, I do what I come to do, but if it's something like that, I feel like I have to speak my mind, because it's just some things that you just can't just sweep under the rug. And when she told me that, I was like, wow, that's what you were trying to tell me. I said, so I told him, I said, so that's all you think of us? I said, we're just niggers to you guys? And the roommate was like, no, of course not. We don't, I never think that of you, and I'm sorry. And it just was like he felt so guilty. And it's like they know they were wrong, because if you weren't wrong, you wouldn't be trying to cover it up when two black females walk in the room and hurry up and erase it, because it was a dry eraser board map. So you can write on it and erase the words off of the map. And I was just upset, because it's just like, we're human beings, and we worked hard to get in this institution just like you did. We do the same work. It's just like, the only difference is our skin color, and we're still seen as niggers. And that's what I told him. I said, I find it mighty strange that no matter how much we do, no matter how much we prove to be just as intelligent, just as talented, just as ambitious and driven to do whatever we want to do as you are, we will never be truly seen as human beings. We're always going to be considered niggers. And I just thought that was really messed up, and I can't lie, it hurt a little bit, because it's just like, like, what, like, why? Like, why are you still looking at us like that? You know what I mean? Like, after all of these years, you know what I mean? Like it's 2014. And that's the thing that upsets me so much, when people say that racism is dead, and it's not a black and white thing, and black people always want to play the race card, and they want to make it seem like it's about race, and it's not. It's often about race, and race is a issue, and it does exist. So anyone who thinks that it is dead, you need to wake up. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but I mean, it's some things that just trickles down. It's some things that just trickle down from generation to generation. And as long as we have people like the guy that I encountered the situation with, as long as we have people like that who still carry that mindset. And that's the thing, it wasn't niggas, it was niggers over the continent Africa. And it's just like, as long as we have people in the world with mindsets like that, who's going to tell their kids, oh, anyone with a skin color, a skin tone that's not fair as ours is a nigger, and you should treat them less than us, and they're inferior to us, and they will never amount to anything that we do, when that's not true. I have friends that's engineering majors, computer science majors, and people who are doing just as good and better than some of their counterparts. So it just upsets me that it's like, no matter how much we prove ourselves in this world, we're going to still be seen as niggers to some people. And it's just like, it's like, why? Like move on, like mature. Like it's ignorant to continue thinking that way. because we're so much more than our skin tone. And like when I told him that, like I could tell like I was breaking barriers a little bit, because you could tell he felt so ashamed and so embarrassed, and he really was caught off guard, and he really felt bad, and it seemed like he was remorseful, and he was just like, you know, I don't have anything against black people. I have a black friend. And that's another thing. It's like people always try to use that one token person, you know, to try to make up for what they did that's wrong. And you know it's wrong, because if you didn't think that it was wrong, you wouldn't try to cover it up. You wouldn't try to erase it when two black females walked in the room. And that's another thing. It's like people say that racism is dead, but it's really not dead. It's just more, it's just a little bit under the radar, and it's a little bit more subtle these days. And it's like they're thinking it in their head when they see us, but they don't talk about it. They don't call us niggers until they get in the room alone with each other and amongst other people that think like them. And it's just sad, you know what I mean? And he said, I'm from Houston. And I looked at him and I was like, okay, and what does that mean? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, I'm from Houston. And he was just like, I have a black friend, and he's in my fraternity with me. First of all, if he's in a fraternity with you, he's probably one of those Oreo black people that's not even culturally in sync with the struggle of the everyday black man. So it just upset me that it's like you're trying to justify your wrongdoing by having one token Oreo black friend. And it just was a lot. And I was a little hurt, because it's as long as I've been at LSU, it's been rare that I've had incidents like that. I've never had an incident like that, you know. And I know that stuff like that goes on in the world. I'm very aware. But just to experience it myself and really see what some people think of us, you know, it just was sad. And I was just like, you know, I just was done. And I could tell he just felt so bad. He was just trying to do everything to make us feel better. Like, you guys need anything? You want some candy? And I was just ready to go. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm just ready to go, because you obviously don't have any respect for my kind, you know what I mean? And it was just like, for you to have that up there just lets me know that's what you think about me. And if it was two white people that walked in, it would have stayed up there. But the only reason why you erased it was because two black people walked in and you got caught. And we see what you really think of us. So that's just a story that I just wanted to tell, because with all the things that's been going on, it's just living proof that racism still does exist. And people, and it just makes me really question, like, what do you do? Because being a black student at a predominantly white institution, I've often felt uncomfortable since my freshman year. Sometimes going in the classroom, you're the only black student, you're the only black girl, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, because it's like you feel like you have to prove yourself, or you feel like you have to be the example for your race. It's like you often feel like I gotta be on point. It's like it's so much pressure, because you have to. It's I don't know if it's for everybody, but for me, it's like I feel like I have to prove that my race is more than the stereotypes that people label us as. You know what I mean? Like I used to always like put like a lot of effort on not only being to class on time, but being early and sitting in the front and knowing my teacher. And it was just like I was always trying to do all this stuff to prove those stereotypes wrong. And it's just like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter sometimes what you do, because they're still gonna put you, you know, generalize you and stereotype you, you know, and it's just like it's just frustrating, you know, and I try to be cultured. I hang with different people, and I have friends of all different races, and it's so frustrating because it's like, no matter what you do, there's still some people that's going to label you. Not all, but what I'm saying is, it's a lot of people out there that still think the ways that people have thought years down the line, and I just feel like it just makes me question what to do. Like, I don't know. It just makes me just wonder what to do. And it's like, this video is just a real talk. I'm not here to give you any answers or any advice like I usually do in my real talk. Today, I need answers, to be honest with you, because I really don't know what else is there to do. You know what I mean? Like, to me personally, I feel like at the end of the day, like, yeah, I was hurt after that situation, but then I just sat there for a second and I thought, okay, this is just one person of many that probably think this of us, and you gotta keep living, you gotta keep moving, and you gotta live for yourself and do the best and try to make a living for yourself, you know. And it's just so frustrating. Like, when you try to prove so much, you know, and try to prove these stereotypes wrong, and basically be the face for your race, and basically show them, like, black people aren't lazy, you know, black people aren't always late, black people, you know, don't always, you know, do this and do that, and it's just so frustrating. And it's just like, you know, when the situation happened in the dorm room, I know that they, you know, were uncomfortable. I don't know if what I said and how I made them feel will change the way that they think. It may not. It may have just been a small grain of salt, you know. But at the same time, I know that what I said, in a way, it made them, it shed a little light. Even if it was a small little speck, it shed a little light and let them know, like, this isn't cool. Like, we're human beings too. And I don't know, it just makes me happy that I did say what I said, because whether they change or not, at least they're aware, you know. And I want you guys to be aware as well, whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I want you guys to just know that this stuff is going on in the world, and this is how people think, and this is the things that people do when no one's watching. So all you can do is just live your life for you. Do the things that make you happy, but never forget how far we've come, you know. And don't ever say don't ever say that progress can't be made. Because when I said I don't think that racism will change, that's me just saying I don't think that people will ever stop stereotyping black people. And that's because it trickles down. But as far as the system and stuff like that, I think that we have the power to change things. But the thing is, we got to let our voices be heard. We have to keep talking about these issues. We have to make people uncomfortable sometimes, because sometimes when you make a person uncomfortable, that's when you break through, and that's when, you know, that's when light is starting to get shed and people start to realize things and understand things better. You know what I mean? So I don't have the answers, and I don't have the answers, and I'm not going to try to act like I'm a guru on everything that's been going on these past couple of months, because I'm not. But I'm the human being that, you know, recently just experienced something, and, you know, I have plenty of friends that have experienced something. I was talking with one of my co-workers and talking about the incident that happened, and he told me, you know, about a time he was getting into his truck and a white guy drove past him and yelled out nigger and, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, this is stuff that people are dealing with every day. So something needs to be done. And the only thing that I could say is that we keep talking about it, and we just keep making this an issue, because as long as it's an issue and we keep making a big deal out of it, the more there is a chance of someone trying to solve the issue. Not saying that us talking about it is just going to, magically make something happen, but I mean, all these protests and everything, like, I'm just so happy that all these people are getting together, and people all over the world, Paris, China. I seen protests all over the world of people with banners saying Black Lives Matter and things like that. So I just, wanted to talk to you guys and just make you, I just want to say, just don't let everything that's been going on, and don't let everything that has happened go in vain. Keep talking about this stuff, because that's what's going to keep it in the public eye. It needs to be talked about, like, constantly, consistently. The issues need to be talked about and voiced, because as long as we're silent about it, the more that these deaths are going to go in vain. Like, and everything else, the injustice, the racism, we just got to keep talking about it. We have to keep making it an issue and keep making other people aware, regardless of what their race is, of these issues, so that they can get on board too, because it's a fight for justice. It's just a fight for justice. Like, we want to be respected, just like anyone else. Like, that's all. And it's like, it's just crazy, like, how people, we're seen as niggers. And it just goes back to the Eric Garner situation, where he continued to say that he can't breathe while being in a chokehold and slowly dying. And it's just like, that just goes to show how much our lives don't matter to some people. I feel like we gotta just keep talking about it. We gotta keep making people aware of what's going on, and we gotta keep doing what we doing to bring so much attention to all of these situations that's been going on. Like, we have to let our voices be heard, and that's my solution as of right now. We just have to continue to talk about it, and let people be aware of these issues that's going on in the world, and maybe they will have empathy for Black people. Because I've heard white people, I went to a candlelight visual. It was for Mike Brown, but it was also for all the lives that's been lost before and after Mike Brown, where Black lives have been lost, for different reasons, and none of them were justified, I guess you can say. Like, basically, all the people that were killed for no reason. Innocent lives that were lost. It was a candlelight visual that they had at LSU, and I was there with my friends, and it was very touching, because not only did it make you stop and think, like, man, like, this could happen to my little nephew, you know what I mean, in a couple of years. Like, just being a Black man, being a Black person in general, it's like you're always going to be judged. Like, it's been times where me and my friends could go in a store, and the employers, the employees of the store, the workers in the store, looking at us like and following us like they think that we're gonna steal or something. Like, but white people, it's just like, it's just certain things that people just assume goes with being Black, and it's just like we're always looked at a certain way, and it's just like, I don't think that people look at white people that way. You don't. It's hard to explain these things, because it's just things that you, as a Black person, you just learn growing up, and you just know these things. It's kind of instilled in you. You learn as you grow, and you experience life and you see situations. It's just you're used to it. Anyways, back to the candlelight vigil, and it just was, it was very, it was, I'm trying to describe the feeling, because it was like, it was a good feeling because everybody's coming together for a common cause. People of all races were at the candlelight vigil. But the thing that was hard was hearing of each person, and the list went on and on of all the people that were killed, innocent lives, and how they were killed and what they were doing and their names and how old they were. And it just made me think, like, this could be my little nephew, this could be my little niece, because it was females as well. This could be my little niece, you know, and somebody could take her life because she just looked guilty. She looked like she had something. My little nephew can be going to the store to get an Arizona and would have a hoodie on, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and it's crazy because sometimes it's jokingly, but in a way it's kind of serious. Sometimes I even tell my friends, like, hey man, you know where we at, like, you know, you better not walk around with that hoodie on, man. You know, we're always, you know, guilty. You already a suspect. Don't go nowhere with that hood up. Don't even wear a black hoodie, because you suspect, you know. I was at work one night, and it was kind of late. I was working on a project, and one of my coworkers, he was leaving, and it was dark outside, and I was like, hey, man, you better watch it with that hoodie. It's been too much going on. And it's just crazy because even though it's kind of jokingly, it was kind of jokingly said, in a way it's real. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know when your life can be taken, and you're just innocent. You're an innocent person just going to school, or, you know, trying to just live your life and do, you know, live this American dream. But it's just like, because our skin tone is darker, we have more obstacles that's in our way to get there, and we're judged, and we're put in a box, and people stereotype us. So that's just something I wanted to talk about, because living in the South, you know, Louisiana, that's something that's something that's always been an issue. It's just, you know, not as a parent as much as it used to be, you know, in the past. You know, it's more subtle now. So it's just something that I wanted to talk to you guys, and just, I don't know, I just had a word vomit, and I just wanted to talk about that, because it's a serious issue, and I just feel like we gotta figure it out. I don't even know if it's like an answer. I don't know. Like, it's just something that you just kind of like, it's probably the eighth wonder of the world. Like, how to get respect, you know, how to be seen as a human being. Like, I don't know. I don't have the answers, but hopefully we can get some type of justice. And that's my video for the day. Yeah, so I'm sorry to be returning with my videos on such serious, controversial, with such a controversial topic, but then again, I'm not sorry, because it's something that needed to be talked about. You know, it needed to be discussed, and I hope that it's something that's discussed amongst, you know, you and your mother, or you and your brother, you and your sister, you and your white friends, you and your Asian friends. Like, I want, you know, things like this to be talked about, because that's the only way we're going to kind of get to understand each other, and that's the only way that people of other races will have empathy for us and see things in our shoes. But they never truly will, and it's just crazy. Like, the point that I was trying to make when I brought up the candlelight visual is just like seeing white people go up and talk about how they are white privilege. They actually had white people going up there, and they said, one was like, I'm a white privileged person, and I know that I will never face some of the things that black people face, and I will never get judged because of the color of my skin. I will never get gunned down in the middle of the street. It's just like somebody feel this, you know what I mean? It was just a good feeling, like, for them to have empathy, you know, and understand this, like, you're not going to have some of those struggles, you know. You're not going to go in a store and automatically be judged as a shoplifter, you know what I mean? So I can go on and on, but I think this is where I'm going to pull the plug and call it a day. I just wanted to talk about that because it's something that's, you know, very serious, and it just needs to be discussed. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys got something from this video, and I hope you guys continue to talk and protest and do whatever to keep, you know, attention on these issues, and to keep bringing light to these issues, because trust me, they're getting noticed. So that's all for today. Until next time, I'm Sierra Sheree. My website is sierrasheree.com. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/SierraSheree1. And you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Sierra Sheree. Deuces.